Hey guys, it's Adam. Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Pursuit of Progress podcast. And first and foremost, Happy New Year and welcome back. Excited to have a 2026 full of growth, opportunity, and progress with all of you guys, our listeners. If you haven't noticed yet, my co host Ben is not with me today, but he will be back next week. So excited to have him back in the studio. But today, going to be doing a little quick episode. And I just want to talk to you guys just very simply about something that I think has a dramatic just influence over productivity and excellence, and something that I'm working on still to this day on a daily basis. So, what this is exactly is something that might not be that obvious to some, but for others, it's a no brainer. So, if you're listening to this, there's a good chance that you've got goals in 2026. Maybe you want to, grow your income. Maybe it's improving your health, or maybe just getting some of your time back. Maybe it's finally taking that next step towards something you've been putting off for the last year. Well, my challenge right out of the gate is to forget those big resolutions, forget the all or nothing mindset. And instead, let's just talk about that really powerful tool that, again, a lot of people aren't using, and that is consistency. Because the truth is, massive results, they don't come from massive effort done once. What they come from is that small effort repeated on an over and over again daily basis. And this math is going to blow your guys' mind. So I want to hit you with a few kind of simple truths that are just all about this consistency mindset. If you saved $8 a day, by the end of the year, you'd have $3,000. If you were to read just 20 pages a day, well, you'd end up at the end of the year reading about 30 books. Or let's just say that you've got that goal on your phone or on your Apple Watch to walk 10,000 steps a day. Well, over the course of a year, you'd have walked the equivalent of 70 marathons. Let that sink in. We overestimate what we can do in a day, but we wildly, wildly underestimate what we can do in a year. Consistency beats intensity. That motivation, it's going to fade eventually, and energy, it's going to come and go. But if you learn to show up daily, even if it's at 50% on some days, you're still guaranteed to win. It's not about that perfect gym session. It's not about, the perfect pump on every single time you go into the gym. What it is about, though, is not skipping the one that you don't feel like doing. That's the big difference here with that consistency. It's not about writing a book in just one weekend. It's about writing maybe 300 words a day for 100 days. And then all of a sudden looking back and realizing where you've gotten to. Or, it's not about maybe making six figures from a single, new business venture immediately. It's about making that one decision today and every day that's going to take you a little bit closer to that business goal. And I think a lot of this, it comes down to identity, and that identity shift more specifically. I look at it like this. The real win is that every time that you show up, especially when you don't feel like it, you're casting a vote for the kind of person that you're becoming. If you want to be somebody who's in shape, well, be the kind of person who moves on a daily basis. If you want to be somebody who really builds wealth, be that first person who saves before they spend. Want to be somebody who just gets a ton of results with whatever they do, will be that person who sticks with things longer than most people would. Consistency. This is the compound effect in action. It's invisible for a while, but eventually it's going to become undeniable. So I've got just a little, challenge for you guys just to wrap up this quick episode today. As again, we're starting 2026. Sounds crazy to even say that, but just want to have you guys, try this out and leave me a comment down below, shoot me a DM. This is just a little challenge to kind of get your mind in the right direction. Pick one, and just one. That's the key here. Pick one small habit that you can start, not tomorrow, but today. These can be things that are super simple. I'm going to share a few of you guys that I've even done recently. One of them is just drinking a glass of water the first thing in the morning. So when you get up, maybe even have it already waiting for you on the side of your bed. Just having something as simple as that, because these simple things sometimes that are very achievable, yet sometimes don't get achieved, don't get finished, don't get done. Those are creating these little micro wins, these little small wins to start your day off. So that'd be one example, drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning. I say that because my goal is to try and drink a gallon a day. And there's a lot of days where I'm far short of that. And this is a way to get a really good jump start and have intention behind that. Another one that I'm working on is being a little bit more grateful and just mindful of all that I have in my life and what I'm so thankful to have. But just first thing in the morning, writing down maybe like 3 things that you're grateful for. This is another one that's very achievable, easy things that, they sound easy, but just to do them consistently can be a little bit challenging for some, me included. Another one could be maybe just like reading 10 pages of a book every single day. That's another one that I'm working on right now. Going back to that comment earlier that I shared with you about if you read 20 pages a day, that's equivalent to about 30 books a year. Something so small, but compounded on a daily basis turns into something massive. Another one could be, taking that walk every day after dinner, or maybe in the wintertime, just getting out, maybe after you get home mid morning when it's starting to warm up a little bit, just really trying to intentionally get out and just get some fresh air and some exercise on a daily, consistent basis. Really, the big part of this that I want to get to you guys is whatever it is, just make it so simple that there's no way that you can fail, and then repeat it. Repeat it every single day. These little wins that you're going to start to see on a consistent daily basis. All of a sudden a week goes by, a month goes by, maybe 6 months goes by, years goes by. Man, these little things, they turn into massive, massive improvements. And this is really how high achievers get things done. It's through consistency. So I'm going to wrap it up with this, guys. If you want 2026 to be your best year yet, just don't focus on doing more. Focus on doing small things longer than most people are willing to do. Because when you commit to small actions repeated daily, you don't just get results, you become somebody new in the process. And that's what this podcast is all about. This is the pursuit of progress. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If it lit a fire under you as we kick off 2026, maybe just helped you reset your mindset for the new year, I just want to ask you guys to do me one very small favor. Share this episode. Text it maybe to a friend who's also ready to make 2026 their best year yet. Maybe you could even leave me a quick review on Google if that's an easier way for you. But what we're trying to do is just expand our audience and just help get this message out to as many people as we can so we can all help each other. We're not perfect. We're trying to do the same thing you guys are doing. We're all trying to just pursue progress. And this podcast is a great way to collectively share in this community and get it done, and just really just promote each other, really push each other to do more and be better and make 2026 our best year yet. With that being said, hope you guys have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week, and I'll see you guys next time on a brand new episode of the Pursuit of Progress podcast. I'll see you then.